In the quiet town of Moscow, Idaho, a nightmare unfolded in November 2022. 4 college students were murdered in their own home, in one of the most shocking crimes in recent American history. The world asked, who could do such a thing? Why them? And how did investigators finally track down a suspect who seemed to have left no trace? This is the story of the Idaho college murders, and the man accused of carrying them out, Bryan Kohberger. Before we talk about the crime, we must remember the lives that were stolen. Carlee Goncalves, 21. Outgoing, adventurous, with big dreams in tech. Madison Mogen, 21. Carlee's lifelong best friend, known for her radiant energy. Zana Kernodle, 20. Fun-loving, warm, and full of spirit. Ethan Chapin, 20. A triplet, an athlete, loved by everyone who knew him. 4 young lives, cut short in a single night. Their story begins in a college rental home at 1122 King Road. On Saturday night, November 12th, the 4 friends lived what seemed like an ordinary weekend. Carlee and Madison went to a popular local bar called the Corner Club. Ethan and Zana attended a fraternity party. By 2 a.m. they had all returned home. The lights dimmed, the town grew silent, but by 4 a.m. the silence shattered. A figure moved through the darkness, entering the house, knife in hand. What happened next was a frenzy of violence. By the time the sun rose, 4 young lives were gone. Late the next morning at 11:58 a.m., a call was made to 911 from a surviving roommate's phone. Police rushed to the scene. Inside the home, they found a sight so horrific it shook even seasoned investigators. 4 victims, stabbed to death, the walls stained with blood, no signs of forced entry, no murder weapon. The town of Moscow was plunged into fear. Local police, FBI, and state troopers launched one of the largest investigations in Idaho's history. They faced enormous pressure. Rumors spread online. Theories ran wild. But the truth lay hidden in the smallest of clues. Surveillance footage near the house revealed a critical lead, a white Hyundai Elantra, seen driving repeatedly past the King Road home that night. Police searched for every Elantra registered in the area, and soon, a name surfaced: Bryan Kohberger. Kohberger was a 28-year-old PhD student in criminology at Washington State University. He studied criminal behavior, profiling, and even serial killers. His classmates remembered him as quiet, sometimes intense, and obsessed with details of crime. Could a man studying crime have committed one himself? Police finally made their biggest discovery: DNA left on the knife sheath found at the crime scene. That DNA was compared against genetic genealogy databases. It led investigators straight to the Kohberger family. When they tested trash from his parents' home in Pennsylvania, the match was confirmed. The suspect was Bryan Kohberger. On December 30th, 2022, nearly 7 weeks after the murders, police arrested Kohberger at his parents' home. The world finally had a suspect. He was extradited back to Idaho to face charges of 4 counts of murder. Kohberger's background shocked many. He wasn't a drifter, he wasn't an outsider, he was a criminal justice scholar, someone who studied how killers think and how they're caught. Did his knowledge help him plan the crime? Or was it his downfall, leaving traces he thought would go unnoticed? Kohberger has pleaded not guilty. His trial will determine whether he truly is the killer, or whether someone else is responsible. But one thing is clear: the community of Moscow, Idaho, will never be the same. As the legal process unfolds, we must remember the most important part of this story: Carlee, Madison, Zana, Ethan. Their lives were stolen, but their memory lives on. Friends, family, and an entire nation continue to grieve their loss. This case is not just about crime and investigation. It is about 4 young people whose futures should have been bright, but were cut tragically short. The Idaho college murders remain one of the most shocking crimes in recent history. As the case against Bryan Kohberger moves forward, the world continues to watch, searching for justice. But behind the headlines and courtroom drama, we must never forget the victims. Their story is why this case matters. This is the haunting tragedy of Moscow, Idaho.